A light in the shadows in the autumn of 1903. A young man named Edward Clarke was assigned as the keeper of a remote lighthouse. This lighthouse stood on a desolate island called Gravey Isle, a place where the salty winds never ceased, and the sea was never calm. Edward saw this job as an opportunity to escape from everything, to bury his past, and perhaps to discover something new. After arriving on the island, the boat left, and he was left alone with the lighthouse and the silence. The lighthouse light was not automatic, it had to be lit manually every night. On his first night, Edward climbed the stairs to the tall tower and lit the bulb. From below, the entire sea seemed bathed in light. But as he descended, he felt like someone was following him. He turned, but no one was there. He brushed it off, thinking it was just exhaustion or the effect of the sea breeze. As he lay down to sleep, he heard a whisper, "Have you come to burn in the same light?" While cleaning the lower room of the lighthouse, Edward discovered an old, worn diary hidden behind a cabinet. It had a name written on it, James Forster, Keeper, 1887. The first page of the diary was ordinary, a list of tasks, weather details, etc. But as he turned the pages, the language began to change, the sentences became jumbled, the words distorted, and in the end, there were only screams like sentences. The light never goes out. It watches. It is alive. The last sentence was written in blood. If you are reading this, you are now one of its own. Edward tried to investigate, but there was no mention of James Forster in the lighthouse records. That night, the rain picked up. The roar of the sea reached the roof. When Edward went to the tower, he saw that the lighthouse light had turned on by itself, even though he had turned it off during the day. He went to the bulb and switched it off. The light went out, but with a sudden crash, the entire building trembled. Then a whisper, right next to his ear, "You must stay in the light." In the dark, it comes. Edward began to suspect that someone else was on the island. The next day, he searched around and found a small freshly dug pit at the back of the island. As he started to remove the earth, he found an old human bone wrapped in tattered clothing, a human thigh bone. Nearby, there was a rusty badge that read, "J. Forster, Keeper," with trembling hands. Edward picked it up, and then he felt a shadow behind him. He turned, but there was nothing, just the same old whisper, "Don't step out of the light. It is waiting." For the next few nights, Edward remained in the light. Every time he went downstairs, it felt like someone was following him. In the mirror, his reflection seemed slightly different. His eyes were red, and there were scars on his face. One night, as he read the final page of the diary, he felt as though the voices were coming out of the paper itself. "We have all burned. You will burn too." Edward looked at himself in the mirror. Now he resembled James Forster. The sea had turned stormy. The boatman couldn't come. Edward decided he would turn off the light. He climbed the stairs to the bulb, but the switch was missing. Then there was a loud bang, and the lighthouse shook. Edward looked down. Shadows were climbing the stairs. Their faces were missing. Only their eyes emitted light. "Now you are the light. You must burn. You are the last." Edward's scream was lost in the sea. A month later, a young man named Thomas Reed was appointed as the new keeper of the lighthouse. He cleaned the room, arranged the furniture, and lit the light on his first night. As he came down, he found an old diary in the cabinet. On the pages it read, "Edward Clarke, Keeper, 1903, and a black written sentence, 'Have you come to burn in the same light?'"